I mean, if this is what we're getting, I think I'm pretty happy. Hey guys, Justin here with Waltz, and today we're taking a look at the HW-Q900F soundbar from Samsung. This is a 7.1.2 channel soundbar, and hopefully by the end of the video, we'll figure out if this is the right one for you. If you stick around to the end, we'll have a special YouTube-only coupon code for you, and we might be doing a sound test, so make sure you stick around for that. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Now, as far as design goes, this is actually very similar to the QS700F that we reviewed earlier this year. It has that same slick line pattern that we haven't seen from Samsung before. I also like the grill. It's just very minimalist. I feel like it's kind of hard to pick the design of a soundbar, but something like this looks very clean, whether it's mounted on the wall or on a stand under your TV. The bar itself is in Samsung's signature Titan Black, and it's pretty clean. It's got a modern industrial look. Now, as far as size, it's pretty large compared to most soundbars out there. It comes in with a width of 48.5 inches, a height of 2.8, and a depth of 5.4. It does weigh about 16 pounds, so if you're mounting it to the wall or under your TV with one of those soundbar TV mounts, make sure that it can handle that extra weight. Not to mention your TV mount, because if your TV is 30 pounds and you have a 50-pound mount and then you mount this soundbar, it might be a little bit too much, so make sure you're checking your weight ratings. Now, the included wireless subwoofer is very compact, and it's actually the same one that we saw with the QS700F. The only thing I'm bummed about when it comes to the subwoofer is that this new subwoofer is kind of the only one that they're running with. They don't have a larger version. However, with that being said, it sounds way better than the previous models, and that's just because there's two woofers on this thing. So it's smaller, but if you look on both sides, there's actually two active woofers. The dimensions for the sub are a width of 9.8, a height of 9.9, and a depth of 9.8, and it weighs about 18 pounds. So it definitely packs a punch, but it's pretty compact in my opinion. You could easily throw this next to a stand or something and not be totally mortified by how it looks. So yeah, as far as design, overall, very minimalist and, kind of what you would expect from a soundbar. Now, when it comes to connections, this is where the Q900F shines. You do get eARC with Dolby Atmos and DTS pass-through to your TV, but it also has two HDMI inputs, which you don't see with a lot of soundbars. So you're gonna get CEC control. HDMI ARC is a big thing for people who don't want to use a soundbar remote and a TV remote. Instead, you can just use your TV remote if you're running it that way. Of course, it does have optical if you prefer the optical connection. And of course, it comes with Bluetooth as well. I personally only recommend using Bluetooth with your phone or other devices just to kind of stream music, because if you're trying to watch movies and you're connected via Bluetooth, you might notice some lip sync delay, and it can be really annoying, really hard to fix. So if you're going to use Bluetooth, probably don't use it with video. Now, of course, if you want a little bit higher of a codec and you're looking at Wi-Fi streaming, it does have support for Apple AirPlay 2 and one of my personal favorite features, Spotify Connect. Now, if you're not familiar with Spotify Connect, essentially what it lets you do is cast whatever you're listening to in the Spotify app directly to a certain speakers. For me, I really like this when I'm listening to music in my car and I want it to be playing on my devices in the house when I walk through the door. So I just press the cast button, and once I walk in, everything's already playing. So awesome feature that I always mention, especially when it's available in soundbars. Now, you're definitely going to want to download the SmartThings app, because this will allow you to tune the soundbar to your space. Everybody has a different room that they're putting this in, and especially because this has height speakers, I think it's very important that you go through that setup to really get the most out of your soundbar. Oh, and if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really does help me out. Now, let's talk about audio, because of course this is a soundbar and this is where it should shine. Now, you might have heard me earlier mention that the 900F is a 7.1.2 channel soundbar. Essentially what that means is you get a dedicated left, center, and right channel with surrounds, and then you also have rear surround simulation, and that's going to be your two upfiring drivers. If you're not really familiar with how surround soundbars work, essentially those upfiring speakers are going to fire audio at the ceiling and bounce them behind you to give you a more realistic surround experience. And you'd really be surprised at how well this works in a controlled environment. Here when I'm reviewing these, I don't get to use those features because we have 25-foot warehouse ceilings, but in a room, it does make a difference. Now, it has support for your favorite codecs like Dolby Atmos and DTS. And another thing I always like to point out with these Samsung soundbars is they come with Q-Symphony if you pair this with a Samsung TV. And essentially, that lets you use the audio from your soundbar, but also your TV in conjunction with each other. I did do a video on that, so I'll link that right here if you want to learn more about that feature. If you don't have a Samsung TV, it's not the end of the world, but it's always a bonus, and I make sure to mention it so that you know about it. And I know we kind of already talked about the subwoofer and how I like the way it sounds better than the previous years, and the reason that I say that is because when I was at CES, not this year, but the year before, they were previewing this in a private demo room, and they played this and then they played the old, and I thought the old one was fine, but then when they played this, I thought they were playing two subs at once. That's just how much better and efficient this one is. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you're already aware of this, but sound is a very big part of the picture. Get it? No pun intended. But yeah, I mean, if you're on the fence on whether you really need to invest in one or not, I can tell you right now, TV speakers are very, very thin and they really just don't give you much. So something like the 900F is really going to boost your experience, especially if you're someone who owns a premium TV. You're definitely going to want to match that with a premium audio experience. So yeah, I mean, with all that being said, I think it pretty much wraps up the video. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments section. And if you already own the 900F, please share it. We'd love to hear from you. It is time to do the sound test, but if you're here strictly for the YouTube only discount code, I'll leave it down in the description for you, so make sure you check that out. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video. If this is a product that you're interested, make sure to email me at youtube@waltz so I can get you a special YouTube discount. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos like these, and we'll see you in the next one.